Hi, welcome to my podcast, Espresso Yourself. It is a visual sense of community of the startup patrons, by the startup patrons, for the startup patrons. Today we have one of my favorite patrons. Whenever she comes in at Starbucks, she's always dresses so fashionably. I just love her aura, like seriously. And yeah, that's it. And we became good friends, just complimenting each other. And I'm happy to announce and to introduce Miss Tracy Johnson.
Hello, Russ. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm good, Miss Tracy. How are you?
Good. I'm doing wonderfully today.
And guys, this is my first ever guest, so I'm so happy and proud she's my first guest.
Yay. So exciting.
Yeah, it is quite. So my viewers want to know where you're from.
I am from Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How was growing up in Alabama?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Oh,
Roll
wow.
Tide.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. So how was Alabama in that time period? How were you your growing up? How was the climate there back then?
Well,
Mhm.
it's usually really humid. And, I mean, you're outside for 5 minutes and sweat's just rolling off you.
So it's hot.
It's hot.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's hot,
Okay.
and it's a college town. Tuscaloosa is a college town. It's
Right.
a fun town if you're 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how were
but
you?
I'm not 20. So. I mean, I am. I mean, I'm not.
so in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, you said?
In LA, I'm 20.
Yeah, right. In
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa.
Right.
So were you in a city, in a rural area? What's the demographic there?
No, it's a college town,
Mhm.
and University of Alabama is
Mhm,
there.
mhm.
Lots of strip malls and which you can't go wrong with a strip mall.
Right.
Everybody loves a good strip mall.
Uh-huh.
Strip malls and trees.
Yeah. So you went to school in Alabama, or did you go to school your college years?
I did.
Yeah. Mhm.
I went to University of Montevallo,
Okay.
which is really rural.
Ah.
Yeah. I was in writing. I took creative writing there.
Was your writing your first love?
It was since I was a child.
Mhm.
I've been writing stories. But then when you're an only child, you write stories to entertain yourself,
Right.
to keep yourself company. You
Yeah.
create characters.
That's amazing. Can you show us or share with us one character you wrote back then?
Well, I can remember when I was back then.
Uh-huh.
You mean just a few years ago?
Yeah.
I can remember when I was, and I really, my dad was in Vietnam, but as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl, I didn't know anything about Vietnam,
Right, yeah.
So, but I wrote a story about, in my fictional mind, I had a brother that was going away to Vietnam, and we lived in Boston in my story, and he was getting ready to leave, and yeah, he was coming to kiss me goodbye. I was his little sister.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this is all fictional.
Yeah.
But I reread that story not too long ago, and parts of it make me wince, but parts of it are actually pretty damn decent.
Yeah, how old were you when you were writing this? It was
12.
Wow. And it's like
Yeah.
non-fiction. It's almost
Well,
like,
it was,
it's based on your life, but not.
didn't have a brother and lived in Alabama.
Right. Yeah, but it's also like it's almost drama. I was thinking more of cartoons or like.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
always been drawn to drama.
Right. Okay. Wow. I mean, it's really interesting how you write characters like
Which
that.
is why I love being friends with you.
Yes, thank you.
No.
So you went to creative writing in school,
Right.
and how did you manifest that late in the later years? How did you say to yourself, "I want to be a writer"? How did you find your?
How did I
your-
begin taking it seriously?
Correct, and have a voice of being
Interesting.
a writer. Yeah.
I think, well, I graduated high school in 1984,
Mhm.
so I think I was 17. So I was 17 years old when I submitted a poem to a major publication.
Okay.
But it was a poetry magazine,
Right.
like a nationwide poetry magazine, and I submitted a poem, and the executive editor wrote me back, and he said, Tracy, this poem is excellent.
No.
Yeah, it was the first thing I'd ever submitted, and he
At 17, oh my
at
god.
17, and he said, it's excellent. I want to publish it. Regrettably, this edition is full right now. Please, let's resubmit it next month. And I never did. It was a real booster shot in the psyche,
yeah.
you know? So I thought, maybe I can actually do this thing. Maybe I can take these crazy made up stories. And later I started writing for Elle, South African Elle, and I wrote a film treatment. I did a book on Bob Dylan. And,
wow, Bob Dylan, that's big. What was your first ever article for South African Elle? Tell me about it.
Well, it was about an internet romance gone wrong. It was
that is interesting.
Yeah. I was living in Alabama.
Uh-huh.
I've lived a very colorful life.
That's
so
why you're here.
I
want to know
that's
that.
why I know you.
Yeah, that's why we need to know every single shade of color.
So I had come back from being a secretary in New York City, where I worked at a sperm bank.
Well, okay,
And-
a sperm bank, guys.
In the Empire State Building, and I crash landed back in Tuscaloosa. I think I lost my, I lost my job. Whatever, and. So just another sad New York story.
Right.
And I wound back up in Alabama. I wanted the hell out immediately again.
Right.
I was like, what have I done coming back here? And so I met a man online, and he lived in England. He's a barrister, which is a lawyer in England.
Which
in
app
London.
was this?
It was AOL.
AOL.
Back when AOL was just starting out. And you could instant message people. You could search for
I remember
profiles.
that, yeah.
You could type in, so if somebody was searching for you, you could type in dark-haired, fun, creative, gay man, West Hollywood.
Right. It did show up.
There's my new friend. So I typed in attorney London, England.
Yeah.
And this guy popped up.
Yeah.
And we exchanged pictures, and within 2 weeks he was asking me to come to London. So this is what my article was about.
It's
and it just
basically
wound up being a
nonfiction.
nightmare. It was a nightmare.
It's not fiction. It really happened to you.
It really happened. Yeah.
That's why it got published. It's
So-
interesting.
I knew as soon as I got off the plane, it was that.
Really?
It was that moment. He doesn't look like his pictures.
Stop it.
And so basically, I was staying with this complete stranger that I'd never even met in person for 2 weeks in a very small flat in London.
Were you scared?
Things get real.
Yeah.
Shit gets real at that point. It gets real.
Did you tell anyone?
Fast.
Did you tell anyone you were leaving, or?
By the end of day 6,
Uh-huh.
he was asking me to leave.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
And he didn't have to ask too
Right,
much, 'cause
yeah.
I was ready. It was a
Right.
mutual. It was a mutual loathing.
Correct.
Elle was the first magazine I'd ever submitted anything. And the next morning, I checked my email box, and they're like, "We want you to be a regular contributor. We love your writing."
Contributor. Wow.
Yeah. What else? What other stories do you have? And it was, you don't know until you put yourself out
Exactly.
there. In all areas of life.
Correct. Yeah. Was it another booster shot of you being a writer?
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Where did you get your skill of being a writer? Mother or father, or nobody?
Oh, yeah, neither.
Neither?
No.
So
I don't know.
how did you?
I got it from God.
Of course, thank God.
Yeah.
But how did it develop? Where was the birthplace of Tracy Johnson as a writer? Was it from the movies you've seen, the books you've read? What is the turning point of being a writer there?
I think I was always a highly sensitive child, and sensitive to my dysfunctional surroundings. Because I grew up in a really Southern Gothic, hard scrabble, emotionally chaotic environment. So
it was an outlet for you.
And I was basically left to my own devices.
Correct.
Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
Go to your room.
Yeah.
So and I think it just was born out of a necessity to want to transport myself away from that.
Right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you said because of that, you kind of evolved into writing your own memoir. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
called Dirty Genes.
Oh wow,
Genes.
that is smart. Dirty genes, like
Dirty
the genes, and also
Genetic.
your genetic. Oh wow! When did
Clever, huh?
When did you walk me through the day you came up with the idea?
Wow.
When did you like?
It's now. I guess I should recall it as much as one would recall the birth of a child.
Oh.
But yeah, shows you what kind of mother I am. Yeah. I think I was. It was during the pandemic.
Okay, that's not long ago. 3 years. Right?
Yeah, and I just thought, I'd been writing about the Southern Gothic madness that was my life for a long time, but I thought, let's make this into a book. Let's make it coherent.
Correct.
I'm getting back into it now.
Uh-huh.
I'm over halfway done. So I'm in the, they call it the middle slump when writing a book. And the middle slump is really, you're over halfway there and it's like running a marathon.
Correct, yeah.
You're tired.
Exactly.
Your mouth tastes like cotton. It feels like cotton.
I bet it's
and
also draining because it's your life.
You're doubled over, and
right.
you don't want to get to the finish line, but you gotta.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
you're already halfway there. Yeah.
Yeah. In acting, there's some actors that the actors that we all know and love. They do method acting. Marlon Brando was a method actor.
Shia LaBeouf.
Exactly,
Yeah,
method
right.
actor. And I do method writing.
How's that?
So method writing is the same principle, but it's you relive it.
No.
You relive it, and you let it just absolutely. You let the catastrophic, depressing, heartbreaking memories. You embrace them, and you let them just sop up your whole psyche, and then you relive it, and then you're just taking dictation at that point. You're back there again. You make sure you hurl yourself back there, and I can do that. But it's a process. You have to work yourself up. Sometimes you have to play the music that you listened to at 12 years old if you're writing about that period.
Right.
You have to play a song that when you knew when you first heard it made you dream of New York City, made you dream of that first kiss. So that there's ways you can trigger it. It's like you're taking dictation.
Correct.
You start talking with all the old ghosts again.
Correct. Oh wow.
And the old ghosts start talking to you.
That is deep, Tracy. I love that. When you're doing that method writing, what is the most dominant emotion that comes forth from method writing?
So for me, heartbreak.
Yes.
Heartbreak. I've literally been, just sobbing.
When you do this method acting, can you snap out of it easily, or you have to take time?
Oh no, you don't snap out of it easily.
No. Okay, walk me through that. How do you snap out of it going back to this world?
They cling. Those old ghosts that are talking to you,
Yeah.
they don't want to let you go.
Is that toxic?
No.
No? Okay.
No, well, not if you're trying to accomplish something
Correct,
and get
correct,
it
yeah.
done. It's
Yeah.
a gift, right?
It takes a lot of balls, if I might say, to relive those moments, write about it, and basically not snap out of it, like you said.
It's true.
Yeah, so
But you got to remember, it's art.
it's
for
art.
the sake
Exactly, I was going to say.
This is a great quote. Great art, great painting, great writing, great art should always disturb. It should always disturb.
Wow.
Otherwise, it's pap.
Correct.
It's chicken soup for the soul.
Yeah.
And those.
So
yeah.
are you saying that your memoir is disturbing?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, yeah, my father had Huntington's disease.
Oh, what is that? Tell the audience what's Huntington's disease.
Huntington's disease is a neurological brain disease that sufferers are born with a defective gene.
Dirty genes. Got it.
Right? So you start acting bizarre, erratically. And then as the years go on, come the choreic movements, the jerking, the falling. Here's the scariest part is that every child of a parent, it's very rare disease. There's only 30,000 people in the
Wow.
United States
Okay.
that
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Huntington's.
In comparison.
But
yeah.
every child of a parent that has Huntington's has a 50% chance of inheriting the same gene that's going to make them violent, bizarre,
Erratic. Yeah.
erratic, uninhibited. It just absolutely,
That's terrifying.
yeah. And every child of a parent that has this has a 50% chance of dying from it,
Oh wow.
just like the parents. So in the book, I talk about this.
Wow.
And then it was only at 34
That you found out.
that I found out that he was diagnosed with Huntington's. And then the more I researched it, I realized it had never been me after all.
Yes.
It was him. It was him. It was the disease.
Disease.
It
Yeah.
was
right,
the
right,
disease.
Right. Right. Yeah.
In fact, when my father was diagnosed, he said to me, "You need to get tested," because it was quite shocking the way he said it. "You've got a 50% chance of going down with me.
Oh, stop it, Tracy. That's really cruel.
50% chance of going down with me." And he said, "You need to test and make sure you're clean before I make out my will."
How did you feel? Tell me. Did you?
Yeah,
Was your? Did you?
you know, to be honest, it's a parent, right, telling a child that, but it wouldn't be unlike a romantic partner
Yeah.
saying, "You need to get tested to make sure you're clean,
Correct.
because I may have
The disease, or
blank, 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 blank."
Correct.
So it was an odd feeling to be
Your-
told that from a parent.
From your dad.
It,
Yeah.
it filled you with different emotions,
Correct.
like anger and rage, and but you're my father. It was very strange.
Uh-huh.
But it's the only disease that has a 50% chance of inheritance.
Mhm.
Yeah, you felt all different things. You felt sorrow for him that he has to go through this.
Correct.
Resentment, rage.
Mhm.
Now I have to. Thanks for throwing this on me.
Yeah.
Now I may wind up in a nursing home at 40. Thanks.
Yeah.
Because the doctors were telling me that when this gene comes from the father to the child, it hits the child sooner and harder
Wow.
than the parent passing it on. So doctors were warning me that this could get ugly.
Right. Wow.
So anyway, it's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
And my father passed in 2017.
Was there any closure before he passed? Did you forgive him? Did you guys talk? Patch things up?
Well, the last 5 years of his life, Huntington's, in the end, towards the latter stage, robs you of your ability to speak. So he was bedridden and could not speak.
Correct.
He couldn't utter a word.
Right.
I had to find closure and redemption in other ways. But it was difficult. It was challenging because up until Huntington's robbed him of his ability to speak, my father would, when I was living out in California, my father would get his nurse every morning in Alabama to call me.
Uh-huh.
And one day he would call me and tell me I was his best friend in the whole world.
Oh.
And the next day, Mary would call and hand them, because my father couldn't even dial the numbers. He was hand the phone to me. And the next day he would call and tell me that he needed to let me know I was a worthless piece of shit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day I was his best friend. The next day I was worthless, and he doesn't even know why he had me. So that really, when you're dealing with that into adulthood, that's a long time.
It is quite, yeah. Did it affect?
It's not like I married at 20 and went on and had my own family and moved away.
Correct, yeah.
I was still in his radar.
Correct,
Under
yeah.
a magnifying glass.
The relationship with your dad, did it affect the way you have relationships with other men? With
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you like to share how? How does that affect you and other relationships with other people?
Well, without giving too much away
Of course.
in the book,
Yeah.
but yes, women always are drawn to men like their fathers. And when your father is, regardless of the reason, regardless of whether it's Huntington's disease or, you know, bipolar or just a cruel man,
Right.
angry man,
Yes,
or
yes.
drunk or whatever, you're going to go after men that are familiar. So yeah, I knew I had to get away. So as soon as I turned 18, I saved up money and bought a Greyhound ticket on a bus to New York City. I knew no one in New York. I had like $500
Wow.
and didn't even know where I was going to stay. I
Wow.
didn't know what I was going to do when I got there.
You were desperate to
My
leave.
father drove me to the bus station,
Oh, he did. Stop it. Okay. That's
begging me the whole way to change my mind and give him another chance. And he would promise me he would get help. But I somehow knew, I don't know how, intuitively I knew that it was beyond his control.
right.
And that these possessions that would come over him were beyond, I knew they were uncontrollable.
You were in New York on your own, with $500 in your pocket. What did you do next?
Well, we want people to buy the book.
Oh yes,
so-
but
wound up-
I'm just sucked into this story. It just
wound
have
up
to
at
have
a
the book.
runaway shelter in Times Square. I stayed at the Covenant House
you should finish the book, Tracy.
in
This is
Times
so incredible.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and New York was very dangerous back then.
I'm sure it was like every state. Yeah.
It was.
Back then. So let's leave that everything in the book. I want to buy your book, and when it's
You
ready,
do?
please finish it. I really love I love memoirs, especially really interesting stories. I'm hooked in the story.
Oh,
The way
thank
the way
you, darling.
describe your life. I mean, it's quite sad and everything, but I feel like in the end there's a little bit of a resolution and some
There's redemption.
yeah, it's the redemption I was looking for. But let's talk about now. So when you're not writing,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Well, I quit drinking.
Okay,
Which
kudos.
was, yeah,
Mhm.
that was that was good for me. I
Yeah.
don't preach it for anybody else, but when I first moved here in 2010, I just kind of disappeared, and I was a party girl, and out every night. Yeah.
By yourself, with friends?
Well, I didn't know too many people when I first moved out here, but I would go out and I would make new friends. It was very dangerous. I was playing fast and loose with my life.
Right.
then.
Wow.
And going in the bathroom and doing key bumps of cocaine and, just mixing drinks. And I drank the hard stuff. I didn't drink little flutes of champagne.
So was that because of the past?
Yeah, a lot of it. Past
Okay.
trauma.
Yeah.
It follows you no matter where you go geographically.
true.
It's
That is
like
true.
toilet tissue on the bottom of your shoe.
I love that analogy.
You drag it with you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's sad, but it's a cute analogy.
Yeah.
Toilet tissue. Okay.
No one ever likes to see anyone dragging toilet tissue on their shoe.
Right.
But so I knew it was time for me to stop, and I have a lot more peace in my life.
Yeah.
I have animals now.
yeah. Okay.
And
That's a nice way to how do you say, keep yourself sane and like you have little kids in your house.
it's true.
I like it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I love them to pieces.
Mhm.
I think I would probably,
What kind of animals are
fight
they?
a double-decker bus to protect them. Yeah.
I just love how you talk, Tracy.
I
Fight a
could
double-decker
punch a
bus.
double-decker bus to protect those boys. They're little chocolate Himalayan Persians, and they're
Fancy.
brothers.
Okay.
Gus and Alfie.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do love them so. Yeah, and I've gotten a good group of girlfriends now.
In LA?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's a great city, but I think I don't know. I think I may be looking at a new move soon.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to if you leave, but where are you thinking? Perhaps.
I've thought about going back to Ireland. I
Okay.
was a cocktail waitress in Dublin for 4 years when I was 25. I moved to Dublin not knowing anyone, And
I like New York too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
my thing.
Exactly. I feel like that's your talent. You move
It's my
to
thing.
a new place, not knowing anyone, and you just hustle.
Yeah, listen, roll up those shirt sleeves, buy that bus ticket or that airplane ticket, and let's
Right.
do this.
Right.
Let's do it.
I love it. Wow. So you plan to go back to Ireland?
I thought about it. I
Mhm,
have. I've
mhm.
been really thinking about it. I would love a little thatched cottage somewhere, kind of maybe Cork. I loved Cork,
Okay.
which is very rural.
Uh huh.
But a little thatched cottage with a little country lane leading to
I
the
can see you
local
there,
pub.
yeah.
Little bicycle with a basket.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And maybe the Irish Sea below me. And
Yeah.
I could a fireplace. I could live like that. There's
Yeah.
worse ways to live. There are worse ways to live.
The way your comments are hilarious. Is this gonna be after or before you finish the book?
Oh, this will be after.
Hopefully.
This will
Guys, you collect all
this
the-
will be after the movie is made.
Ah! I love the optimism. Yeah, you should definitely.
This
get
will be
more.
after the movie.
Mm.
But I hope you come to. I hope you come to the book
I would buy.
signing
I would be like
and
Bob.
the movie premiere with me.
I would be like Bob Dylan. I'll buy 10.
Aww.
I'll buy 10. I'll
You're
sign.
so cute. I just give them to you. I just give them to you. You're
That's
so adorable.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I would love to be at the premiere and the book
You're
signing.
sweet.
And when it gets
Thank
published,
you.
it's great.
Listen, nothing.
Mm.
If you don't dream, it's definitely never going to happen.
Right.
If I had never submitted that first article to Elle,
You would have never.
I
known.
would not have articles, with
Yeah.
Paltrow and Aniston and all everything on the cover. Like, you have to make that first step and believe in yourself, and
Right.
it can come calling for you.
Yeah. I have a question for you. So going through what you've been through, right?
Mm.
What advice can you give to young girls today who has not similar to what you've been through, but going through something and has the outlet to write? What is your advice to these young girls today?
That writing blocks out all untruths. When you write your truth, it doesn't matter how many people you have squawking around you that are squawking lies, or how many people around you that are trying to gaslight you into accepting their narrative. When you write,
So you write
and
on your own truth.
it's your truth,
Right.
and it absolutely empowers your soul.
Right.
It's
do
a sacred thing to do.
you recommend method writing like you did?
I do,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
that's where the gold is.
Okay.
There's a great quote by Ernest Hemingway.
Okay. Love him.
He said, "Write hard and clear about what hurts the most,
Stop.
because that's where the gold is." And it's true. It's true. The reader can tell when you're being authentic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And readers, you can't fool them.
Correct. Yeah.
You can't
Especially if
fool
you're talking a memoir. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to literally cut open. You've got to slice open an artery and bleed on the page. Not literally,
Yeah, but Tracy, that's
But-
beautiful.
but figuratively.
Yeah.
You've got to do that
bleed it.
creatively.
To
You've
bleed and
got to bleed for
and
it.
use the blood as your ink.
Yeah,
It's
you have
fucking
to
beautiful.
bleed for it, or
Wow.
it's not going to ring true.
Right.
But my favorite writer of all time is Mary Karr,
Mary Karr.
who wrote The Liars Club, which is another Southern Gothic hard scrabble. Get your butt in here, I'm gonna tear you up.
Yeah.
It's just people struggling to scrape by, and family members that just aren't fit for polite society.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad that we got to do
Yeah,
this.
this is why I like talking to you, because you have so much wisdom and the way you talk and describe things.
Aw.
I'm a writer too. It inspires me to describe things.
Oh,
you
I'd
know?
love
Yeah.
to read some of your writing.
Well, yeah, I wrote a script, but it's not about me.
Oh!
So you said you quit alcohol.
I did.
Was it hard?
It was a good thing for LA, and it was a good thing for me.
Was it difficult to go cold turkey?
Interestingly, no.
Okay.
It didn't. I didn't need to, which is surprising because I have a very addictive spirit. But I didn't need to go to AA meetings or anything. My body just began rejecting it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're fortunate.
My
Okay.
body just began rejecting it.
Mm-mm.
And now, if only I could get off my, the occasional cigarette.
Okay, you
I
smoke
would
too.
be.
I mean, it's nice.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Southern women and Southern writers, especially, smoke.
Oh wow.
It's a Southern thing. I mean, it's a terrible habit.
Does it help
so
you write?
It's terrible. It's a terrible habit.
Yeah.
And it's time to quit. So that's my next. That's next on my bucket list.
Oh, I thought your next book, How to Quit Smoking.
Oh.
That'll be a memoir.
That's already been done.
Really?
About 50 million times. Yeah.
That
But,
is so funny.
and I've read them all, and it hasn't helped me yet. I wish my body would just reject cigarettes, but it will.
Right,
Maybe.
yeah. How are you this bubbly, this lovely?
Because I'm
having-
with you.
I know, but like you're always what do you call it? You're always positive. Your light is positive, and you don't give off this angsty,
Yeah.
despicable person.
Because I quit drinking. When I would drink, alcohol always coaxed my trauma down from its tree.
Wow.
Yeah, I was known as a spiller.
Okay.
A spiller.
Right.
So when I was drinking, if
You
you
just-
walked up to me in a bar,
Yeah, that alcohol.
I would be lots of fun at first to like try and attract
Yeah.
you to sit down
Yeah.
next to me and
Right.
pull a chair up and
Yeah.
let's toast, let's
Correct.
clink some glasses.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
within about 15 minutes,
you would start to become
I would start to
vent out.
cry and
That's not. Yeah, it's kind of normal. in drug
say
alcohol.
sad stories about
Right.
my past
Mm.
and
Yeah.
and then I would need to order more alcohol
Because the inhibitions are.
because
down.
I'd just be gearing up and
Correct.
so and you would be like an emotional sponge.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I would
right.
basically be trying to get free therapy from you.
Correct. Which is basically this podcast.
But I would buy the drink.
Right. So this is good. You quit alcohol. So all.
So now I'm channeling it all into a positive place, which is into my laptop and into a manuscript.
Yeah. Right.
It's much better
Yeah.
than trying to overwhelm strangers in
Yeah.
bars.
I'm not sure. This is a personal question, but do you still have those demons inside you?
Well, especially now that I'm reliving it,
Yeah.
especially now that I'm method writing again.
Correct.
They're there. Yes,
Yeah.
they're there.
Do they come out? And besides writing. do they
Well,
come
I
out?
coax them out to play
Right.
when I'm writing.
But do they come out when you have going out or meeting friends?
No.
Okay.
No.
Social interactions?
No, they know their place now.
There you go. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's almost like,
They only come out when Mama calls them.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
convenient.
That's
but-
when the muses. That's when the old ghosts come out now.
Right.
They're good ghosts.
Yeah.
They know how to.
Yeah. Because I was wondering, was it difficult, growing up where you're from and when you've been through, to acclimatize yourself in LA, because everyone is going somewhere. Everyone has attitude problem, right? Everyone has things to say that they don't.
What do you mean by attitude problem?
Like the way they approach you, they could mean something in a different way, or we take things differently in a way, but they didn't mean
Well,
it. Yeah.
And you don't know if they mean it or not. And
Exactly.
when you don't know that person, you
Mhm.
certainly don't know how to take it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. But because you don't know them, it's almost like you shouldn't take it personally because you don't know them. Yeah.
See, it's interesting that you brought that up.
Uh-huh.
So that goes back to what kind of baggage you bring with you.
Mhm.
And in my case, because I never knew when the next, rage fest, the next throw out, I was thrown out of the house all the time for looking at my father the wrong way or for anything. I would be left to wander the streets in my nightgown at 3 a.m. just
Right,
because
right.
So because of that, he would read my diary. He would break into my diary, and
That is so terrible.
and so I developed trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I don't know if it ever quite leaves you. It's gotten better, but
It's good. That's good.
It's
gotten
good.
better, yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
But when you grow up having to live in combat stance, ready for the next assault or the next attack or the next cruelty, there's no way you can grow up not having trust
That's
issues.
true, yeah.
It's impossible.
That's why I asked this question about those demons, because it's almost like it's gonna be there for you, with you forever. But
It's imprinted on your soul.
correct. But the way you are, you're so full of color. You're the way you dress is almost like you haven't
Crazier than a Judy bug.
Yeah, but it's like you are in total control, which is amazing, right? Because you said you call those demons, right? They don't come out if someone jostled you, like what are you attack mode, like I don't want to be mean, but like PTSD,
Oh yeah. It's real.
yeah, exactly. You don't like trigger if someone just jostled you, all that stuff, right? So I'm glad that you can control those.
And it's better when I coax them out through method writing than when alcohol coaxes them
Exactly.
out, because I can control them
Yeah.
when I'm sober and
Yeah.
I'm being productive and
Right,
writing.
yeah.
That way I can control them, and they seem to respect. We respect each other's boundaries.
Correct, yeah.
But now I stick to ginger ale, and
Yeah.
which I also
Right.
there's no comparison.
Yeah. So trust issues. Are you willing to share what else do you think that came with the baggage growing up that you are acknowledging and you're trying to actively
Well, it
improve?
definitely influenced my choice of men, which we've already talked about.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We can talk about it in the book. Well, I'll definitely get the book.
Growing up and being told by my father and my mother that it was always everything was always me. It was my fault. I made him do that. I brought out the rage in him. I triggered him. When you grow up being told that, and you're even told that in your 30s, because you haven't married, you don't have your own family, you're still in that triangle.
Right.
Then, and you've found out because of a diagnosis that it was not you. It's like growing up in a cult. You've got parents gaslighting you, telling you this is you, this is you, this is you. You're worthless. If only you weren't so worthless. If only you weren't a loser. If only you weren't a little whore. If only you weren't.
I'm sorry.
I was being called a whore at 14, 15.
Oh my God, Tracy, I'm so sorry.
I had been right. That it was not me. That it was a disease.
Right.
But what happens is you grow up learning not to trust your own voice.
Was it difficult?
Yes, you grow up learning to, for years in New York and Ireland, I would say to friends, I would exhaust friends. I would say, do you really think you really like this on me? Do you really think
I noticed that.
Did I sound stupid? Please tell me if I sounded stupid with that guy. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? I shouldn't have said that.
I noticed that.
Hey,
Tracy.
Kelly, I'm sorry, it's me calling again. I just want to ask you one last time. Was I stupid when I said that to him? So you see, you grow up turning to others for validation and not trusting. You're taught you have no inner voice. You're taught not to trust yourself. So that's a head fuck. You grow up learning and being groomed and taught to not trust your own soul.
It's almost destructive from within.
It's a dangerous place to be.
So have you done anything to improve?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
therapy, writing
Good.
has really, and even the process of writing this is me reclaiming my voice that I never had.
Amen.
It's
Motherfucking
reclaiming
amen.
my voice.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a battle cry.
Right.
Yeah.
So please, I beg you, finish the book.
Thank you.
This is
I definitely will.
incredible.
Oh, you're
Wow.
so sweet.
Seriously.
Thank you.
You're,
And thanks for inviting me into.
of course, you're one of my really good and sincere, genuine friends, Tracy. That's why, you had the honor of being my first ever video podcast.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
because you're
you.
one amazing soul. I love
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Can
One-
you say that again?
one amazing soul.
Okay.
And for the final question,
Yes,
which
darling.
makes this video podcast unique, what is your favorite Starbucks drink?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So many. Can I take a lifeline and call a friend and ask? Kidding. Because I don't trust my own voice.
I hope you're joking.
I would say the peppermint mocha is probably my favorite.
Okay, and
Like
why
you
is
can't
that?
go wrong.
Why is that?
It's got a little it's got a little tingle. It's got a little sting
Okay.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I close my eyes and I try and transport myself, it can almost feel like I'm drinking a shot of, Jack Fire.
Ah.
You know, God, those were good. Those were horrible days, but that was delicious whiskey.
No.
Remember the little cinnamon Red Hots? Did you ever eat those as a child?
No,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Here in America, those cinnamon Red Hots were, and it tastes like candy. It's whiskey that tastes like candy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no,
It's legal.
yeah.
Okay.
But so the peppermint mocha kind of has that little tingle. It's not quite the same burn.
I'm sure it's not.
That was a real burn.
I bet. Yeah.
And my throat would just be like,
Mm,
come
yeah,
to
right.
mama. Let's go slow down this esophagus. But, it's got a little bit of a burn,
Right.
which is nice. I mean, a tingle.
And does it help you write?
Different than a burn.
You write with it, like the drink?
Oh, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it wakes my
It wakes
mind
you up,
up
yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning.
I'm glad.
So, and I get to, see my friends there.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad. Yeah, you always are very
I
welcome.
get to espresso myself.
There you
in
go,
the morning.
guys.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Well, Tracy, this has been a conversation,
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thanks, sweetheart.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hug it out,
Yeah.
darling. Let's hug it out.
You're a very strong woman.
Aw.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Gotcha in a headlock. Did you call me strong?
Yeah. I did.
All right, come on. All right.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ah, it was amazing.
To help blot out my graveyard spiral, I began hitting the bars, inventing a new persona for myself when strangers asked where I'd blown in from. I splashed the dark truth with bright pops of color. Although I never said it outright, old Southern money, that's the impression strangers walked away with by the time I finished repainting my life in the land of cotton, where mint juleps got sipped on sun porches, cool, easy cash flowed like the Black Warrior River, and Big Daddy on the plantation polished his shotgun in front of his little baby doll's unworthy suitors. New York City, 1985. Don't do this to me. You can't stop me, Dad. I'm 18 now. You got no damn money. How you gonna live in New York City on no money? I got that $200 I saved up. $200 ain't a pot to piss in. I'm begging you, girl. Don't get on that bus. I'm going, Dad. What if I told you things will get better? That I'll get me some kind of help? You got my word on that. You scare me. Things won't get better. Girl, you get on that Greyhound, you're going to kill me dead. My father had insisted on driving me to the bus station, convinced he could stop his daughter from throwing herself at the mercy of Manhattan. As we rode in his pickup past the old Tuscaloosa sawmill, I could hear his heart breaking. But I refused to let his tears shift my gaze from the flashes rolling past my passenger window. He'd been making me cry for years. Those tears felt like justice. When we pulled up outside the station, my hand flew to the door handle for a quick exit. You're going to get killed out there, girl, he said, grabbing me. And I'm telling you now, I won't be there to save you. This, I thought to myself, coming from the father I was running from. No need in you waiting with me, I told him. shaking loose from his grip. "Bus'll be here any minute." When he looked at me with shattered eyes, I felt a slight tug of guilt and leaned in to kiss his cheek. He turned his face away. Then, with one rough yank on the passenger door, my father peeled off, kicking up swirls of red Alabama dust. As his taillights disappeared, I realized he had already been gone for years. The father who used to bellow out Chuck Berry songs as I rode shotgun in his cherry red Fiat was never coming back. With a sharp cough and wheeze of the engine, that old silver dog soon began her long, slow roll up the eastern seaboard. I sat up straight, blotting out my dad's tears, each piney wooded mile marker whipping past my window, shedding off more old hurts.